Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're all well, wherever you are. As you can see, I'm not on the river today and I don't actually have a mudlarking video for you today, but I am going to invite you along as I start to declutter my studio. And that is going to start with going through my drawers, the shelves and everything else you can see in here to see what I've got, what I need and what I don't need. I'm feeling a little bit cluttered up, and sometimes I think when you feel cluttered it's probably a really good idea to actually physically declutter, and so that is what I'm going to do. So if you don't want to do that and you would much rather watch mudlarking, then go and watch one of my other videos or somebody else's video. And if you do want to stick around and see what I've got in this drawer, I'm going to start with just one drawer today, then stick around and who knows what treasures we might rediscover. I've lost an artefact that I found several years ago, the I Am Brett one. Can you believe it? I've actually lost it, and I'm really hoping that it's in this studio somewhere. So there's nothing for it. I have got to go through everything. So those of you who wish to stay, I am going to get this drawer out. And I'm quite excited actually. It's going to be like mudlarking in my studio larking, and I'm sure there's some things in here that I found ages ago that I've totally forgotten about. So let's get going. We're going to just do this one drawer today, and then over a period of time I'll do all the other ones. Exciting, eh? Who knew that tidying up could be so exciting? Let's start Operation Declutter Nicola White's studio, starting with a drawer. We will do it bit by bit in bite-sized chunks. I've got a table next to me where I'm going to put everything when I've taken it out. And by the end of this, I hope to have a really nice, organised and tidy drawer. I'm going to start with this box. Now, what is in this box? Now, you know what these are? When I find a clay pipe with tobacco in it, I tend to put it in a bag, all of its own, so that one day, if that day ever comes, maybe I'll be able to get the tobacco tested. So this box has got quite a lot of clay pipes in, which actually has, they have tobacco in the bowls, which always fascinates me, the idea that it's from a plantation abroad, and I've always thought it would be really great to get the tobacco tested. So how many of these have I got? There's an empty bag, there's another bowl, so I've got 1, 2. I'm going to try and do this quite fast or else it's going to get a bit boring, isn't it? Another empty bag. Oh, there's a nice one. See that big lump of tobacco there. So 3. Oh, what's this? Do you know what? I had forgotten about this. This is an ear spoon, like an earwax spoon. See that? Isn't that amazing? Now, it could be Roman, it could be like post-medieval, but it's a little ear spoon used for cleaning the wax out of one's ears. That I had forgotten about, so I'm going to put that to one side and I'm going to put it in one of my cabinets that's in my hallway, because I think that is worthy of going in a cabinet and not being stuck in a box. Got more clay pipes with tobacco in them. More clay pipes, tobacco. So this is the box with tobacco and clay pipes in. There is a stray pipe, not in a bag, and that just has mud in, not tobacco. So you can go in the other pipe bit. I'll put it there for now. In this box. This box, we'll do this completely separately on another day. What else have I got here? Oh look, it's a little bag of Thames garnets. A little bag of Thames garnets. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those. More clay pipes, and what's this? What's this? Oh, a tiny little, like a fruit knife or a little, I don't know, butter knife or something at the end of the at the end of the pipes. That's what is at the bottom, a little knife. I'll put that over there. Right, so we've got lots of pipes with tobacco. I'm going to pop them back in the box. That is the designated pipe box. We have this. Now, I'm not terribly good with leather artifacts. I love finding old shoes, but I'm not very good at preserving the leather. So the other day I was going through and getting rid of quite a bit of leather. But this I kept because this I believe to be part of a really old shoe. Now, if I go like that, you can see that the sole is really narrow and the edge of the shoe is really pointy, like that. It's really pointy. So I think that this is a fairly old part of shoe, and so therefore one that I don't want to get rid of. I need to check exactly how old, but maybe from the 1700s, maybe earlier. So this shoe is in this drawer waiting to be dated, and so, okay, shoe, there you are. Put you over there and make a little list of things I need to do. I need to get in touch with mudlarks who know lots more about shoes than I do and find out more about that shoe. Photo of a skull that I found years ago, which is actually a porpoise skull. Now you actually do need a permit to have a cetacean skull. They are protected, obviously they belong to the crown, and so this one I just took a photograph in situ. It's pretty rare to find cetacean skulls, and I suppose they're worried that people kill the dolphins or porpoises for their skulls, and so it's understandable that you do need to have a permit to actually keep one at home. Another part of skull, half a skull, completely cut down the middle. This one looks like maybe sheep. I remember finding that actually not that long ago. So there we are, I've got two skulls there. I've got my little button container, which used to have chocolate Belgian truffles in it, and it's now a button container. Look at all those buttons. One day I shall go through them all and take the ones out that have names on and put them to one side. And ideally it would be really great to do photographs of all these buttons. But yeah, that's another project which I need to put down on the list. I could really do with some helpers actually, to start really documenting everything like these buttons. My military buttons and more significant buttons are actually in the other room in a little display case, but these are the kind of everyday button that have been chucked in the truffle box until I decide what to do with them. And like I said, eventually I would like to take photos and document them all on a database. What have I got here? I've got some purple ribbon. I went through a phase of making lavender bottles because there's lavender that grows outside in the garden here, and I used this to make the lavender bottles. I wonder if I've got one to show you. No, I don't. They're really nice. Really nice. As well as a button box, I've got my buckle box, and this is actually the top of the truffle container, and so I've got lots of buckles in here, and similarly I need to photograph these and document them, put them on a page on my website. This strange thing, I remember finding this years ago before I started doing YouTube videos. It's a really odd little piece of pottery, but it's got like a bear's head. See? Part of a bear by the looks of it. What do you think? What do you think of that? Got an empty tin. I used to have a little seahorse in here, but I've moved it. Yeah, so that's empty. So I could put something little in there to keep it safe, like my trader's tokens, for example. A little plastic tub with things in. A key. A tag with numbers and lettering on it. A fishing hook. What's this? Oh, a little milk churn, a little tiny lead milk churn. Part of a bottle stopper. Oh, this, which I found recently, which I had no. Oh no, it's not this. Is it this? What is this? This. Okay, these rather, which I'm not absolutely certain what these are. I found them all together. I think they are cleaners of some kind of lamp, from memory anyway. So these are some of my slightly unidentified mudlarking finds, and I'm going to do a video actually about my mystery finds, those that I think many people, including myself, don't really know what they are, because I thought that would be quite fun to see if people can tell me what they are for, and so we can all learn something. Yeah, I can't remember what these are. I'm sure I've been told, and you might know. What have I got here? Another little tag here with a name on. A Chinese coin with a square hole in the middle. Got a couple of little silver sixpences here from Queen Victoria's time. An old brooch. Oh look, the top of a tiny purse, and it's quite decorated as well. It's quite fancy. It's so small, isn't it? And oh, a military button that obviously escaped from the display cabinet in the other room. Right, so that is that little Tupperware box. What have I got here? I've got a little Tupperware type box here with beads in, tiny beads and buttons. See? Oh, now this. Oh, no, that's another little tiny navel button here. This is the tiniest fragment of a ring, and I've no idea how old it is, but I've kept it for some reason. It's broken, and it's either incredibly old or not old at all. I'm just not sure. Maybe I'll put a picture up and you can let me know what you think. Yeah, mostly just tiny, tiny buttons. There is also a little earring just here. Moving on, I've got the neck of a bottle with a stopper in it. Like I said, I'm going to try and do this quite quickly because else it will get quite tedious. Here is a watch, which I found years ago in a whole stash of like jewellery and watches and things. I think they could have been thrown away. Either they were something that somebody had burgled and they realised that actually these were fakes and not worth anything, or they were thrown away as part of an offering. I'm not quite sure, but this one ended up in this drawer anyway, and it doesn't work, but it's still sitting in this drawer. Got a nice piece of velvet used to display things on occasions when I do exhibitions. A little box here that looks like it's got the inside of a clay pipe dottle with tobacco in, so that seems to have just found itself on its own in here. Got another tin of things. Now this looks like things with letterings on, lettering on, bits of metal like that. Here's another little plaque here. Is there anything significant? Have a look. Yeah, lots of tags. Oh, this is Bonzo the dog's dog tag. It's a little dog tag with the name of Bonzo on, from Pelton Street in Greenwich, and I actually managed to find out that Bonzo was alive during World War II and traced his owner. That was several years ago now. What else have I got here? Oh, this strange thing, which is like the head of a duck or a goose, possibly the end of an umbrella or something. Not quite sure. I've got lots of these tags here, like these factory tags. This seems to be the little tin with all of those in. Lots of these. Again, I'd like to polish all of these up and put them all in a frame together. I think that they'll look really good like that. Some of them have got numbers on, others have got letters on. What else? Yeah, lots and lots of those in there. There's also some kind of tooth. A little plaque with 6 guns port on it. A plaque with 42 on it. Another one with 42 found along the same stretch of foreshore. Yeah, lots of these tags. Oh, now this, I had thought that this was a bit of chainmail, but actually it's not. It's too modern to be chainmail, so it might be from a sort of like a chainmail purse. I think that they were quite fashionable at some point. Lots more of these tags here. Used, as far as I know, when you were borrowing or when you were taking a tool in a factory, you're then given a tag so that they knew who had taken the tool out, or something like that anyway. That's how it works, I think. Oh! A couple of little tiny teeth with some gold there. More buttons. Oh, there's a ring. Again, I found this together with lots of other pieces of jewellery, possibly thrown in as an offering or stolen. Piece of something sparkly. Another ring here with the no stone in it. I remember finding that actually. Last year, I think. Here we've got more buttons in here, so I need to put those in the right place in the button box. About that. Right, so basically just lots of little tags in here and a bit of jewellery. Right, put that back down there. Got a bit of pottery here with the workhouse, Camberwell Workhouse Infirmary. What's this? Bit of pottery with young son. I probably don't need to keep all of this pottery really. A bit of Roman Samian ware in here that's been recorded with the museum because it actually has the reference number here, so that's on the Portable Antiquities Scheme. Ooh. A little box of beads. Now I know what's in here. This is a tiny find. A tiny find. It was quite sad the day I found this because it was actually alive when I found it. And what it is a tiny little seahorse. Hippocampus. and it used to live in the River Thames, and it must have come away from the piece of weed that it was clinging onto with its tail, and then just got washed up on the mud and it died. And very shortly after I found it, I'd really hoped to rescue it and put it back in the river, but it was on its last little legs. So it ended up coming home with me, and here he is, preserved forever. Tiny little thing. So perfect as well when you look at them through the magnifying lamp. You go there, little man. I've got another box here. What's this? Got a piece of tissue. This. This is the part of a jawbone of a pike with teeny tiny, really, really sharp teeth. And I actually found that in Regent's Canal when it was being drained. So, yeah, pike teeth. It's from a pike. Very, very sharp teeth. You would not want to get bitten on the bum by a pike. Or bitten anywhere really by a pike, not just on the bum. That's that. It's empty. I've got lots of really handy little boxes in here that I can put tiny finds in. What is this? Oh, there's a lock of hair here. And it could be from one of my children when they were tiny, when they had their first haircut. I don't know what that's doing in here. This is supposed to be a mudlarking finds drawer, not a little memento drawer. And there's also a necklace which belongs to me and which I did not find in the Thames. And so this box I will put somewhere else, not in that drawer. Tiny elephant here. Now this was made by David Higgins, who makes replica clay pipes, and I bought some from him a while back, and along with these replica clay pipes he sent me some little clay animals which people used to make apparently back in the day with pipe clay. So this is a pipe clay elephant, and this is a pipe clay lion. Oh, this is a little tiny container of weenie finds. Got the tiniest little, like could have been an earring at one point, and yeah, tiny weeny little buckle, and another tiny weeny little bead. So I think I need to sort of put all these teeny tiny finds all together in a tiny finds container. I might do a video all about my tiniest finds. What do you think? What else have I got here? Oh, this is a clay pipe that somebody actually gave me quite a while ago, and I can't remember who gave it to me. So if you're watching this video, I'm sorry I can't remember. But thank you very much. And it's got a piece of sellotape over the top because, again, it's actually got some tobacco in it. And it's a clay pipe commemorating the coronation of Queen Victoria. So I'll put that in the clay pipe and tobacco box. This is interesting. This little bag is full of bird rings. Several of them are pigeon rings, and there's a larger one here which must have come from a larger bird, possibly a goose. I seem to remember years ago I found a dead Canada goose, and this is its ring. And whenever I find a dead bird with a ring, which isn't that often, thankfully, I report it to the necessary people. So yeah, there's 4 pigeon rings in here, and a larger one from a goose. Oh, this is interesting. Right, again, this is not a mudlarking find. This I'd forgotten about. Let me see if I can open it. Come on. Come on, how do I open you? Here we go. Right, this is a tiny little moth, and it's actually silver coated. Now this was made by an artist. Several years ago I went to see this exhibition by a man, and you know, it's really terrible, but I can't remember his name now. I'm going to actually put the details up on the screen. And he is a pest exterminator, but he really loves animals, including insects. And somehow or other, with insects, if they're dead, he doesn't kill them to do this to them, but if they are dead, he silver plates them, and then he puts them in scenarios like, I don't know, I remember seeing one that he did like the birth of Christ, and there was 2 wasps looking down into a little crib with like a baby silver plated ant or something like that. Anyway, it all sounds really weird, but I have to say they were really excellent, and I'll put his details up here so you can have a look. And this one, it came with a poem, because one of my favourite sayings from a poem is by Mary Oliver, and it's A Summer's Day, and the last few lines, it's now tell me, what will you do with your one wild precious life? And I was working in banking at the time, and I thought, oh gosh, I just don't want to do this, you know, for my one wild precious life. And it's about the life of a mayfly, because they only live for like a day or something. So, I mean, obviously it's saying, well, you know, what are you going to do with your life? And so I was telling this artist about that, and he gave me this lovely little sculpture with this moth, with a poem, again, about, related to that poem that I'm talking to you about. I'm just waffling, aren't I? But anyway, I'll find it and show it to you. And so this is, after that long waffle, a silver-plated little moth. Hi, I'm jumping in from the future because I now have remembered the name of the artist. It's Justin Gilday, and the exhibition I went to see was called A Spring Nativity, and it must have been back in about 2017 or 2018. And so Justin is the artist who created this silver-plated moth, and when I originally received this, it was actually on a large piece of driftwood, and it came with a poem. So let me read you that poem. Put my glasses on. Here it is, came in a little bottle. And so the poem goes, My dear moth, on this wondrous, wild, moonlit night, what will you do with your summer's night flight? Refined in your tailor-made gown, where will it take you? I would like to know. To the heights? Such glorious twinkling lights. Or beguiled by that fake false neon glow. Oh, what will you do with your life's flight on this glorious summer's moonlit night? And that is inspired by the Mary Oliver poem that I mentioned to you, which is one of my favourite ever poems because it really made me think about what I wanted to do with my one wild precious life. And so I thought I could also read you that poem. And it's called The Summer Day. It's by Mary Oliver. This is from her book, The Devotions. So The Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild, precious life? Oh, here's another bird ring. This is from a cormorant. It's really big, that one. Found that in Scotland. I've got... here's an interesting ring. I don't know how old this is. It looks as if it's made from bone or ivory. A bottle stopper. nice old buckle here. That can go in the buckle box. What's this? Eau de lavande. Little piece of paper in there. This is a postcard of a piece of art which I made several years ago using bits of driftwood and other little bits and pieces that I picked up along the River Thames. It's actually supposed to be Gravesend, and the frame's made of driftwood. I've got a card here with I love you on it from one of my children. What's this? An empty bag, an oyster shell with a hole in it, and of course we're not terribly sure why they've got holes in, so if anyone's got any ideas, let me know. A little saucer. We're getting to the end now, we're getting to the dregs. Now this, gotta brush it off. This was a little exhibition I did back in 2016, Found on the Thames, a joint exhibition between Middle Temple Library and Tideline Art back in 2016. Doesn't time fly? Yeah, I remember that well. Little lead aeroplane. I do have a little box with lead toys in, so I'll put that in there. Oh, what are the rest of these things in here? Things that can be thrown away. Okay, there's a bit of driftwood here. I have a big pile of driftwood in the corner of my studio because, again, one of the things on my very long list is to make some nice assemblages with driftwood. I love this artist called Margaret Mellis, and she went through a phase of making artwork with driftwood, and I just find it so inspiring, and so every time I see an interesting piece of driftwood with bits of paint on it or an interesting shape, I pick it up to use it in an artwork. So that's going to go with my driftwood. This, which could be part of a sugar crusher or a stirrer. A knob for a drawer, which I should probably use on this chest of drawers because a lot of the knobs are missing, and maybe this actual knob came off of the chest of drawers. Oh, what's this? Do you know what? I think this could be one of my traders tokens. That needs to go in a special place. You should not be rattling around at the bottom of this drawer. Yeah, that needs to go in a special place. Put that in the special place pile. Another empty container. What have I got in here? Oh, now here I have some things that I found when I was metal detecting, and they're mostly musket balls by the looks of it, little lead balls, and the end of shotgun cartridges. And do you know what, I just don't need these, and I'm going to put that in the throwing away pile. That's the top of a bottle with an interesting stopper on the end. I remember finding that at Battersea several years ago. Here I seem to have an old ice cream tub with lots of Panyan pickle jar lids. 1, 2. So Panyan pickle was a kind of pickle which was obviously very popular in the early 1900s Victorian times because they are something which we find fairly frequently. But I'm not sure that I need several of these. So I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to get rid of some of these Panyan pickle jar lids. Yeah, there's another one. So I've got at least 6 Panyan pickle lids. I've got a funny little plastic toy, and he belongs over there in the plastic toy domain. There are many of them over there. It's going to be a lot of fun sorting through those, I can tell you. So yes, little dog, you could go over there with your friends. Here is a tiny little religious offering. Oh dear, what have we got here? I've got a few human teeth. That's not a human tooth, by the way. See the root on that? That is an animal tooth, but these two are human teeth. And I found these down by the river near Greenwich. And yes, I don't know. Should I be keeping human teeth in my drawer? I don't know. What do you think about that? Anyway, they are there anyway, so I've got these teeth. This is embarrassing, isn't it, seeing what's in this drawer? I've got various bits of wire used for exhibitions, but I haven't used them for years, and more buckles, which can go in the buckle pot. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the teeth. What should I do with the teeth? What should I do with the teeth, everyone? What are your thoughts on that? Got another little pot here. Tiny bracelet. Quite old, probably Victorian. Piece of decorated metal that I found, actually, a couple of weeks ago. Part of a wig curler. Part of an old brooch. Ooh, and a boar's tusk. A little boar's tusk. A general service military button. So, some old coins. Really pretty little bead here. This one deserves to be on display. Coming to the end now. I've got a leaflet about Ulumpali, which is actually in Marin County in California, where apparently they found an Elizabethan hammered coin. You can look up the story. Part of a plate, and I don't need that. That can go out with the pandan pickle jars. Oh, I've got some paper clips in the shape of cats. Quite useful. Some wire. What's this? Oh, little elephant brooch. Part of a lead toy scarecrow. What's that? A card from the Whitstable Oyster Fishery Company. I'm getting really to the dregs of this drawer now. Some glass stoppers. I don't need these. They're going to go out with the pandan pickles. This nautical instrument, what's it called again? Not a compass. I can't remember the name of it, but that anyway, which is a find from several years ago. I can't believe I can't remember the name. A tiny little wooden fish. I think I'll spare you the rest of this. Let's have a look. Is there anything really significant that I want to show you? Oh, there's the tiniest little bag of bones here. Now this is a bag of mice or mouse bones that I found at the bottom of a well several years ago, and I had forgotten about that. So yeah, not sure I need a little bag of mouse bones. Are you? And yes, I've just got a few buckles, a few coins, a few bottle stoppers rattling around at the bottom here, and that's about it. So I'm going to just empty this out, give it a little brush, because there's lots of bits of very, very old tobacco at the bottom of this drawer. And then I'm going to put everything back in, apart from some of the bits that I'm going to put in other places. But now I have a clearer sense of what is in, or what was in this drawer, so I'm beginning to feel a little bit clearer headed already. So thanks for joining me on this little studio larking session in my drawer. If you enjoyed it, then there will be more possibilities for more sorting out. I've got this box here, and I do have several other drawers, not to mention the top of this dresser and many, many shelves. But for now, I think that is it. I think it's best to do these things a little bit at a time, because sometimes I've tried to do too much and then you just get fed up with it halfway through and the place is an even bigger mess than it was before you started. I don't want that to happen. So I'm getting ready to go camping tomorrow. I'm going out to an island in the River Medway, which has got some really, really interesting history surrounding it, and I am so looking forward to sharing that with you. It's going to be a little bit about a surgeon who helped sailors with yellow fever on some ships that were quarantining in the River Medway back in the 1800s. And so I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be searching for some little artifacts and cooking some food outside and just generally doing what I love most, which is being outside by the river and just, a bit of wild camping. I just love all that. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you've got any comments about any of these items which you've seen me take out of the drawer, any concerns about me or all the objects, then feel free to put in the comments below. But it's been great to have you along with me, and I am wishing you the best ever week ahead. Do something that you love, do something that you enjoy, and make sure you take time to do something for yourselves. Thanks for watching my videos and for all your support and encouragement. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back soon in the mud searching for more of London's history. Take care, everyone. Sending you lots of love. Bye-bye.